Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I welcome my students once again in our channel. Today we are going to be talking about a very prominent and important topic. We all realize about this that you guys have been asking me lately about tips and tricks to understand and speak English more fluently and more faster and faster day by day. And if I tell you nobody's a perfectionist, nobody can be perfect with their, for example, in the start of their work. So you have to do some progress, you have to do some steps, you have to go through some hard work, and by doing these things daily, you will get faster. I'm not saying that you will get like the best at it directly, it will take you some time, but you will get really good with it. So let's get into the videos. Lately, you people have been telling me that I've been too much fast with my teaching. So as I'm fast with my teaching, so the same way you guys are also fast with learning with me and interested in learning with me. So let's get into our topic today. Tips for learning English speaking. Now, today I'm going to be giving you not only tips but advices that I have personally experienced. I'm going to be giving you ways that can be more efficient, that can be more easy. And some of these are even from my journalist approach that I have actually studied in the past. And coincidentally, these things also work in English language learning. So let's get into it. Number 1, do not be afraid of mistakes. This is for speaking specifically. Do not be afraid of committing mistakes. Yes, now, written mistakes are really important. You have to stay away from written mistakes as much as you can. Because written is something that all people should be good at. But that's not a problem. Here the problem is speaking. People are so much afraid to make mistake in their speaking that they just don't speak. They do not have the courage. They do not have that ability to speak. And tell them one thing, that are you studying? Are you speaking? Are you learning for people? Or are you learning for your own self? Isn't it pathetic that you are doing something for others who don't even care that are you doing it or not? Do not be scared of mistakes. I do not call losers, I call them learners. Mistakes aren't mistakes, they are lessons that teach us many things. There are many types of people in our life that teach us multiple things. And there are multiple different incidents that happen that teach us multiple things, and the greatest among them is your recent mistake. Every single time you commit a mistake, you learn from it. But unlike those type of people who do their mistakes and don't learn anything, those people are worthless. Those people will always be down, discouraged, have low self-esteem, have less ability, have less energy inside of them. But you shall not become like those type of people. You shall be yourself. You shall stay as you are. And you should be better. Now, lately, lots of people have been telling me that I'm speaking a different mixture. I'm speaking a mixture of American/British, but there's the thing. The normal one that I try to use quite a lot, but I'm not that much used to using it because lots of people do not understand when I speak in British. But American is just for you people so that you guys can understand me better. And nowadays, like, there's this big chaos in our own institutions. That is the chaos of American and British. Our books are in British and our speaking is in American. And we have a topic in English. So we speak in American style. But the thing is that the book is written in British. So there are a lot of chaos there when it happens. So let's get into our second point. Use simple words. I've seen a lot of people trying to impress their colleagues, their co-workers, and their comrades. They try to impress those people, but you aren't meant to do that. I remember my personal times when I used to write, for example, news, etc. Like, there was like this thing with news writers that they used to write with such type of words that they wanted to impress the producer or their boss. But you shouldn't work like this. I had my own thing. Am I writing for my boss, or am I writing for the people that are going to be sitting tomorrow looking at my newspaper and questioning every single hard word that I've put there and internally being in pain that we are so pathetic that we do not understand these words? That is what I feel when I do these type of things. And in my university, I never actually tried to speak those hard words. I tried to use the easiest words, but when there is no word except for the hard ones, then I'm obliged to use those hard words. And the other thing that is really good with using simple words is you'll be more effective and efficient. when you are actually doing it with the hard words, so you actually have lots of tongue twisters, you have lots of thinking to do, to choose the prominent amount of words. Oh, that is a great word, oh, that's a good word, in your brain. I have this technique that I call Braincallus. Now, Braincastle. Now, there are multiple different type of techniques you can use, like brain mapping, etc. These are really old techniques and really great techniques. You might not know about these. You can study on the internet. So, in your Braincallus, you can just go there and pick up your ideas. You can think that what you have to do. And the great part about all of these is when I'm thinking about something, within a microsecond, I can think of all the possibilities that how this word or how this saying can go wrong. And how can these things go bad? I have like this multiple ideas that are going on in my mind. But when I use strong words, I have a lot of confusion in what I am saying myself. This happens with a lot of speakers. They don't know what they're speaking, but they just want to add that fancy look to their words. So use simple words. It's okay to be normal. It's not a problem. Why are the natives so simple? Why don't they use such hard words? And why we should try to look more native, even though it's not native? That's still the problem. So now let's get on to the other one. Don't focus on grammatical structure or don't focus on grammar. There is no need for grammar. This one is specifically written for two reasons. Number one, writing, and number one, speaking. Now, if you are a writer type of person, you really need grammar. I'm sorry, brother, but this is the reality. If you are a writer, you really need grammar. Because if you do wrong punctuations, if you write wrong sentences, if you have one single sentence out of your book that is wrong written, so you're going to piss off your customers and they're going to just leave you. And I don't want that to happen to my students. So for that reason, I would say that focus on grammar if you're a writer. But if you're like a me type of person who has expertise in speaking and is most related to speaking, so I'd recommend you people to focus on grammatical structure. Don't focus on it. Why? Because if you're focusing on grammatical structure, you forget what your main idea was. It makes you forget and unrealize that what your main idea was. This happens with me quite a lot. That when I try to get into that contraption of thinking that is this grammatical structure, I don't go into these type of things quite a lot. But sometimes my comrades say that no, it's not like this, it's like this. And then I start to think about it. And then in the end, I forget that what did I just even say. I just forget what was my idea. That used to happen with me as a small little, as a beginner to English. That used to happen quite a lot to me. So I say, if you want to learn English, don't focus on it. Just do whatever you want to do. Just speak as much as you can and don't focus on grammar. It will give you confidence, it will give you self-esteem, and it will give you more ability to talk openly in front of lots of people. This is what it is going to give you. And secondly, when you're focusing on grammar, you are indirectly translating from Urdu, Pashto, to English. This is a big problem. You shouldn't do this. For example, in Urdu we say, Mujhe English aati hai. So in English, can we say, English is coming to me? Mujhe Urdu aati hai. Na, mujhe English aati hai. Me, English is coming. English is coming to me. This is wrong. There is no word-to-word translation in English. There is no system. It's not like Pashto Urdu that you'll just go and do a word-by-word translation of the words that you're listening. Sorry. So here the thing is that you have to stay kind of with that new language. You have to learn that new language. You have to understand that new language, because if you focus on grammar, you're going to ruin your English. Now let's get into the last one. Listen to native speakers. For example, if you like a series, for example, watch the English version. Why to watch the dubbed version? Go ahead and watch the English version. And watch it with subtitles. If you don't understand it, you can watch it with subtitles. It is quite easy. So, the good part here is that when you listen to your favorite TV shows or anything, for example, if there's this really great song that just goes viral and you're just going in the road and you're seeing everybody singing the melody or whispering it with themselves or singing it with themselves, so you'll just be like, oh, this is really cool, and you'll also start to sing because it has an influence on you. You have that interest in it. You have that want that you have with it. But when, on the other hand, you don't actually have any kind of interest in anything, so you don't have that. We always want to find entertainment in everything. And this is the best way. Infotainment. I recommend you to have some infotainment. Enjoy with it. And the last one is going to be quite a different one. This is not going to be the usual type of thing that where I'm going to talk about. I added an extra one that is for reading, which is that you should read quite a bit in one day. If you don't read in one day, for example, if you're too smart, you're like a big genius. But if you do not read books, you do not keep yourself up to date. If you do not know about the things that are like up to date, really cool technologies and softwares and stuff, if you're really smart, you might be smart in your own world because you aren't smart according to the modern people. Because the more modern you stay, the more better you are. But if you aren't keeping yourself up to date, that means you are not smart. And the best way to do is by watching, for example, TV. In that you can watch news, in which you can read different lines, etc. You can also have newspaper, you can have books, you can have ebooks, you can have multiple different ways to do that. So this was all for today. Thanks so much for staying with me, and I hope you people enjoyed today's tips for English learning. And that's all for today. Thanks so much for being with me, and Allah Hafiz.